Bueno, good morning. I got a lot of people, very nice. I have friends. I have people, they are designers that work with me, and then they are working by their own. I have designers that working with me, a few persons of my studio that I didn't think they will come. Then it's cute, we are here. But I can sit, no? It's not a problem. Then no, you see me, it's okay? Sì. If someone wants to come more nearby, it could be easy, no? Allora, I call it Scalextric, which is a funny name. That's a toy that we have when I was young. And I was always playing with my brother, Juan, that was 1 year and a half less than me. And I had to play with him, and he had to play with me with dolls, you know? And this, I think, Scalextric, I think, not only for me, if there is one Spanish person here, and more or less of my age, that he was little when he was in the 60s and the 70s, he will understand. It was so important for all the Spanish people. You are still not having in Italia the name of the company. In Spain, I think they import Scalextric, and everybody was playing with that. That means many things. It was a playful way to be hours with him, always with the movement. My car was always going out. You couldn't play alone. You had to play with someone because you had to do, you know, me over you, capito? And it was very interesting on that. But it was even another thing which is very important to remind. It was with batteries. Then many of the toys, I grow up with the lighting all time going on, capito, with electric things everywhere, capito. Then you have to think a lot with what you play when you were little. I always inquire myself that. Meno male, I can say meno male, I say in Italian. There is another side that my mother went to Barcelona, and she went to in the 70s, and she bought a house, a doll's house, for me and for my sister and me, and my brother was playing with us. And these are the last photos of the house. This is the inside. And then my mother, gave to someone else a few years ago. And you know, this was another thing which wasn't not with batteries, capito. Was something much more, I think, with other coordinates, capito. And we played at the wall many other hours of my... I think I became designer and architect when I was playing with these two things when I was young. The olives you see in that side is always that part of my roots. I think Spain gave to all the world the minimal project of design, you know, which is the olive with something inside. Like we know all of us, and we are very proud about that. Bueno, what about? It's quite difficult for me sometimes to explain my work. I'm trying to do an exhibition now in Spain. Will be my first exhibition in Spain. And I have to think a little bit, what about? No? Which are my roots? Because I'm telling you all these things. Or which are all the things that were impressive for me? I've done a lot of mess, I think, even not only of work in this last year. And this is my character. One thing I think is very important for a person who is a progettista, no? You have to understand in the time you are working and growing, how is your personality? Because possibly they are persons who will work only in a few things, but in an obsessive way, in a very, I think, super interesting way. Other persons have the capability to work with others, to be more convivial and to play and think different things at the same time. It's important to understand. Me, I'm this kind of person. I'm architect as a studios. I studied in Madrid, then I came to Italia. I think I was at the middle of the carrera of arquitectura in Politecnico, and I wanted to change. I remember myself perfectly. Madrid for me in that moment was not enough, and I came to Italia. I had a love affair, and any reason was good to change, you know. And I came to Italia. I ended my studios here. It was a little bit complicated because I had all the problems as a student, because many of my votes, credits, they were not working. Then I did 8 years of architecture. I had even nightmares, a disaster. Pero it's not bad, because here there was Castiglioni, and I focused on design because of this man. This man was an architect. Then I was feeling comfortable with him, but he was comunque giving a big intensity of the work of design. And for me, design in Spain was a label. You know, I'm an architect. Architecture was a big A, you know. Design was, you know, this, you know, you want a lamp or a design lamp, you know. In Spain, there were a lot of prejudices. In Spain, in my Spain, when I was young, in the 80s. Then, for me, many things changed, and it's very important to understand all those processes in your life, because I'm 49, capito? I don't think you have my age, and then you have to understand how many situations you grow, and then there's another thing, you change your life because you live in Paris, then Paris make you change many things, and then many things of your life go inside your work, and what is nice is that, and you tendenциally, I'm happy. I was always saying when I was young, I will be an architect. I'm more a designer who is even an architect, and I can do both, but my aim is a designer. It's not what I said, what I was saying always when I was little. I think sometimes you have to clear ideas, too much clear ideas when you are young, and or the contrary. I like a lot this map from David Byrne. He was a kind of musician, a personaggio from my generation, older than me, but comunque very important for my generation, because I liked the music, the research he was doing everywhere. And there was a little book of him that I loved, with this kind of, I think it was marvelous disaster, something like this. And there were, things that grow, the things coming up as all the moment of spaghetti, of crepes, of lardons, of foie gras, the moments of all this, when the taste goes, it's quite and then the moments of, the most, what we are reading here, the lame ideas, disastrous love affair, bad investments. Life is a mix of these kind of sensations, and I like a lot. I think it's quite interesting to make us think about. Me, I try, and I love, because if I try to go in this way, it's because I love to work a lot. I'm part of the tribu of people that think with hands. Tendenциally, if I'm thinking something, when I was in the school, I was doing all the homeworks, the physical homeworks for my friends. Then this is another part. Anything I'm thinking, tendenциally I can or draw it or represent. I think you are this or you are the contrary. They are always tendency two ways of express yourself, no? Però can be very, very handmade, or can be comunque as in industria. This is the hand of Zio Marino. Zio Marino is the uncle of Patricia Moroso, the woman who helped me really a lot, and at the beginning, as a young designer, in the moment you need credibility, because our problem as creatives, is only to go through that moment, but you don't have any credibility till you have a credibility in your work. Then companies, when you come with an idea, they don't think, they listen at you and they try to do it. Because at the beginning, my idea, or the idea of a young designer, or of a super big designer, is always como an idea that they look at you a little bit, say, you think? We can do it, because there's always, something which is outside of the industry. You are proposing something outside of the limits, or technological, or cultural. Always you are always trying to do something which is not fitting perfectly, which is very important. This attitude is that creates the research, the process of something, no? Then the important thing for all of us is to get the credibility. Is the only problem we have. Then I think it's not so. All the other things that came after it are not so important. Comunque, the hand of Zio Marino. At the end of a day, there was a day that I was with them 12 hours, even more, with Zio, Patricia, the other ones. And no, it's not okay. We have to move it. We have to change it. At the end, we finish. Well, this is not the normal situation, but can happen. In the studio, happened to us too. We know about it. Here, I work with hands. But what is important is this continuity, prototypes, the prototypes, what we have, the progettisti in our hands, is the prototype. And then all the relation you can create with an industry for creating a serie from that idea. The prototype, comunque, you go inside the project, you are with your hands, but sometimes then in the way it's produced, the prototype, they work like you. I love that photo that you see here, because this is in India for Gandia Blasco, a Spanish company that I'm very proud to work for them. And because they asked me, what you at the phone? I said, I want to do like, maglieria, knitted things. And because I think they can work with me in a very easy way, with all the flavor of India. If we work in India, we can't do the carpets in India just because it's less expensive. No, I can't effort with that. We have to go. I need that if I can't be all the time in India, I want one girl from the Gandia Blasco that is in India. And she's looking Indian because we are Spanish. This is very good, hai capito? Then we are comunque Latini, and she's really mixed it in the circumstance. She was there. She was sending me emails and even little videos. I don't have it here, but we had lovely videos, and we were all the time inquiring them. How do you feel comfortable? What is more comfortable for you? We do it bigger. You think it's more comfort? So we were trying to get the energy of the way they work. That I think is very, very important. And if you happen to us in a global world that you have an idea and you are working with someone which is far away from you, that can happen even to try to take the energy of them, to take the quality, le savoir-faire, capito, and try to be honest in this way. This is my own scalextric, capito. I did a little, well, it was large, but it was comunque for me, was my first exhibition, one second exhibition, it was the first in Italia, the only one I did in Italia, and it was in Verona a few years ago, and there were a few things happening, but there was the heart of the exhibition. If I should close everything and just leave one element of the exhibition, this was a kind of I show you here. It was this. You see it, I don't have to explain to you a lot. All the prototypes of the studio, we put them on moving, and they were given, I like the shadows were fantastic. I always say that will be only fantastic to have an exhibition which is only the shadows of all the work you have done, capito? I think in this, Asia and Oriente educate us a lot in these kind of things. But bueno, this was the way I needed to show. Then the Scalectric came back in you. Anything which is in your roots, come back to you. Then be really attentive, no? And here we are. The day we ended all the work, we were destroyed. I think it was 4 in the morning or something like this. And I introduced you part of the person that are working with me. One is sitting there, capito. And this was comunque part of the layout we were doing. All this, our product. The idea was comunque to do situations with all red elements or white elements. The hardwood was moving. Well, we were doing our melting pot, no? And the Scalectric and the cars, which have to do with the Scalectric, I like to begin from here because this year, 4 months before Salone, BMW in November, with Christmas time in the middle, then think about what is short time, they asked me to work on the last car they had. I still not knowing the name, GTS 500 and also, or GT Berlina 5. This and make you understand how much I love cars, Then I don't like cars. I'm not interested. I said to them, you need my touch. I don't like cars. I don't think you are speaking with the right person. This I said many times when I'm speaking for first time. I try to say always very sincerely what I think. I think it's a very good way because sometimes if someone is interested in you or wants you, he understands them, how he can re-give you the question another time. And then they thought about, and they said, no, but we want to work with you. Why not? But I said, I'm not gonna do good marketing for you because I don't like my. And then, the maximum I can do, I could work inside to repropose something. But even outside of the car, for me, it disturb me. I want to cover it. There's not a problem if I cover it. I said, it's not a problem. Then I said, well, I can't say no. And then I had to work with them. And this is but you see, there was a kind of, those prismas, they were protecting and covering the car, and they were giving you the intention and focus on what was inside. That was the thing I was working. My idea was, this is a Berlina, it's for long drive. Well, the car is not anymore, and then I was happy. The company accepted that, and I began to think, what is the system of the oggetti, of tools we have for traveling? The Berlina should be the comfort car for long travels, not the city car. but we have other needs. But for the long car, I still complaining every day for that, because they are doing a lot of work. But when you go inside a car for doing long travels, with the best, if you have, perhaps they have families that they have the big car for the family, and sometimes there is a micro car for the city, or the bicycles. They can have a few ways to do the city. But you know, the idea was to rethink what about is all the mess and all the elements and all the tools you need when you are in this little habitat. We presented the car in a courtyard of the city in Milano, and in those elements, first thing we were thinking, I think all this research, because the market, they were saying to us that it's all about leather. I say, oh my God, all the leather. We are gonna end with human leather in the cars. Searching the best leather. I said, why don't we come back to a normal felter or a normal fabric, but we work, you think it's not enough elegant. Bueno, pues we are going to do it 3D. We are going to do, and then we did a kind of, the drawing is, I was laying, capito, this element, but was not with the stitches. We did a technique way, capito, was a technical padded, where it was very interesting, made it with people from Torino. We did a very nice work. Always as Italian, we only in Italia we find the one who did the technical work for the fabric. They didn't find outside, because we were searching for the laboratorio, how to do it, and searching in Germany, and in the end were the Italians that they found the way to do it. Then we work about, I was thinking, if you have a long travel, you need a lot of pockets, because you do a lot of garbage, capito? Then where are the pockets? They don't give them to us. Why the baby who is in your car, as my daughter, Sofia, now this is not working anymore? I did something wrong? Bueno. The baby, how you have comunque to go inside the car, always plenty of playful things in your hands, and then come back home to with all the things. Why the seat for the baby is not already prepared with all these things? Then was another thing I was complaining. Why there is no comunque? Today, all the companies of design, of lighting design, they have LEDs, LED lamps, very, very interesting. Why we cannot buy, you have a switch in some way, in some part of the car, and you can buy your own Artemide floss or little lamp. This could be a possibility, because they all work in LED. Then I was proposing provocations, little provocations. They leave me do it, and we were doing all the products, all the tools we have in the car. We did it in the studio by hand, and the car. This was the way with all the things we have done for them, the way we were preparing and presenting, and this was how it was presented in Milano. No. We were very happy, because at the end, this fabric done with a company, Quadrat, from Sweden. No, I think I always do in Sweden. We are gonna work in it. It's gonna become a real fabric. Then I'm very happy about the history. And then this was all the provocation was funny, because there was, where is the place where when you are doing a long travel and you want to have a rest, there is no car that has something. You have to come with the one from the airplane, and I think in the car is strange. Or you end with your jacket even in the most sophisticated car. Then they are still giving us something which is not complete, capito. Then there is a lot of space for us. All these big companies, the big industries, the one that they do big series of anything, they should be more open to have little laboratorios, have little situations like this one, to understand that they're still doing comunque things in a very limited way. Is my opinion. It's because when I listen, if some of you are only interested in doing cars, I say no. I will prefer that at the beginning. I think our attitude is to be comunque moving limits, to being outside. We are the only ones from outside the companies that we can really help a lot. And then if we are inside comunque, happened to me. My first job was to work in the Padova. I was inside. I was young, and it was good to be inside, because for me it was good, but I was always never in the right place when I was not a good helper in some way. But I think comunque I learned a lot. But then after a few years, I needed to go outside of a company to be with proyectistas, people that they are working from outside. This is the contrary of BMW. Now I was in New York for the ICCF in New York, and then we were, there was a company from Botswana, I think it's the only company of design, which is an addition of design from Africa, because there are many companies that they produce for other companies from Europe, but people that they really, as an editor from Africa, I think is the only one. And this man is Peter Mabeo, and he had this Patty Johnson, me, and another group. Now he has Swedish designers too, and we are working for him. He's a man who came to me with so intense, so nice that I couldn't say no. And we are very proud because this year he won the prize of furniture in New York. Then I think the last year, this booth was the last year, and I arrived 2 days late because, I arrived from Botswana, to New York to do a fair. You have many other problems than the other ones. And I had to wait for we were saying, coming soon, 2 days after. Then now this year we win the furniture prize. Then I was very proud for this history. This is a photo. I like to show you a few photos of that I do when we are traveling. This was, I like a lot, introduce a little bit Moroso. This is Ronarad sofa, you see. And this is another kind of more severe sofa in the airport in London. I love it, that woman, that she take the Ronarad and create a nest with the baby and everything. Sometimes people say, oh, Ronarad, these pieces which are only for collectionists. It's not truth. Obviously, if he is a man working in a part of the products that Moroso can do, they will land in comunque in houses very sophisticated or in collectors. But if you have to think about art, comunque, people who are alive working in the back of that, the system for living perhaps sometimes is the galleries and the collectors. But then in the galleries, everybody can get in relation. It's what this kind of artists they need, capito. Then only the galleries and the owners is the economic system for make them live, capito. Then even in design, if you are working in companies that they are trying to to be in the front of design, obviously, comunque pieces can be more expensive. Many times with my friends, I say, don't take it because it's too much expensive, Or even if I have a discount, it's too much expensive. This can happen to me with a sofa, for example. And but in another way, I think they work many times with contract in public spaces. Many times things arrive in the society, they go inside the market. And at the end, if you have a point of view a little bit more open, you understand how much all the things, when they go in the market, they mix, they overlap. And we have to have a point of view a little bit larger, I think. This is a photo that I did in a street in a part of Sao Paulo, capito. Amazing city. Sometimes obviously, when they ask us about our inspiration, it's not only to go to Sao Paulo. Sometimes this incredible sofa in this incredible place can be garbage and things. You are always, another thing you have to understand, you are the tribe of people who is curious of anything that anyone can throw away, or you have to find the things only in the shop of design, or in the museums. Evidently, I think if we are working on design, we have to be all the time, recontrolling. You don't want the shirt, I tried. I can't, vintage represent our way of thinking, because we are always going and this curious eyes about everything. This was a micro painting I was doing when I was working for Piero Lissoni, and I was doing this aquarelle, capito? And I remember this was the idea of my first sofa with Patrizia Moroso. And I think I was a bit shy of my possibilities. Then the painting was like this, if you see it. I still having it. Then just to make you understand, how goes, it's okay. It's okay. All the fair we have, all the it's not always so easy to explain, no? How goes. This was comunque first time that the company was doing for me in Moroso a sofa. Then they were doing really, they were taking the photos, doing the prototype, and I was hyper happy. Or this, for example, was an idea that I explained to Patrizia by the telephone, and she began to understand me. Then I was understanding that I was credible. There was a certain credibility. I want to, like a globe, we're going to do it, it's going to be a little bit like a cactus. Because sometimes you are mixing two images, capito, in your mind. And she was understanding me very well, and we did the product, and things went away. The mold of this product was The day we went to see the mold, me, I was absolutely in love. Sometimes, our work give us como que those circumstances. I am proud to have done this product, just to have done this mold for it. It was the biggest poesy of all the work. Ecco, really, I say. Or for example, Fjord, I was in the plane coming back from Scandinavia with Patricia, and these were the drawings I was saying to her. We do like this, we do the pliable, and this half Jacobsen. We were playing with that. I think today we don't need the chair with the iconic chair for relax with a poof. Perhaps could be only with one arm, and only we can, because it's not only the men with the pipe and the shoes, capito, in home. Possibly we are the cat, you have the one, we don't sit anymore well, and this was the discussion that why this chair began to be. And this was the day that Zio Marino, he was relaxed, because we got the prototype, and then we was midday, and we didn't have to do anymore, and he was reading a magazine, and I did the photo to him, because this was a moment that normally is not like this, because we are till the night, the hours are not enough. Or this como que prefer make you understand. A company, as for example Moroso, they have a lot of know-how in how to do the dress. Then the dress is not a dress. The dress is an occasion to do a project. If the company has the savoir-faire to do it, then there are companies that don't have it. But if they have it, you can work on it a lot. This was the drawings we were doing, and how she was in an exhibition that we did, no? Other day, you see, I'm happy, so how happy I am. Mira, this is lovely photo, because I was saying to Patricia at the phone, I want to work, because I was pregnant of Sophia. I think I don't know if Sophia was born or Sophia, I was pregnant, I don't remember, but it was that period. And I was saying with all the dresses of Julia, the big one, I was saying, I think, Patricia, we are going to, if you want a contract chair, we are going to make managers sit in a smoke point, chair, and then why not to translate or to move elements which are typologies, the idea of the smoke point from the babies and mummies world to somewhere else, to some other place. And this kind of attitude I like a lot. Art and craft, or crafting and doing in industrial, or thinking in industrial way and doing a look which is very craft. This is, I believe a lot in that, because these are movements that it's because I like a lot the exhibition they have done this moment in the Triennale, because it has no prejudice, has a point of view that goes out of design, goes in artigianato, then in craft, then come back, goes to art, come back all the time to design, come back. There is I think Mendini in this was fantastic, in the selection, capito. Then this was the prototype we did in the studio, was real dimension. We went to Moroso, and then finally they found the way to do it in a technique way, because it's done with a double layer, it's working. Then this could be something that will not work. You see the chair como que insert in an ambience, or one of the elements we did. Laboral, this is a little doll, we did a toy, we did for a museum, which is in my country. They called me to help to do this big museum, and to do, this is the place where you leave the codes and everything, and this is the library, the shop, and I did for them, and then I put part of my pieces like this piece, and then finally I had one of my pieces as a low seat that I like it a lot in my country, in my city. Molto bello to be helping a museum of art where they do incredible research. You have to see Laboral. They are doing always amazing work of research in exhibitions about design and art. Very interesting. And I was working with them. This is como que tendenzially after years what is coming. This is part of all the things we are doing together. Or for example, this is another thing that I love it a lot. In an exhibition in Germany, Ideal House, I needed hammock because I wanted to not put any sofa and to use for me what is the maximum, the moment of maximum looks of relax. It's not a sofa, come on. It's a hammock because you can't even put your feet on the floor, and you can't even read, just a little book, but you have to rest, capito? Then that's the looks of a sofa. And Patricia she did for me, I can go like this, a hammock, with the petals. And from this hammock with petals, we after the exhibition, she said to me, we will never sell it, Patri, because a hammock always needs 2 places to hang it, and people it's not for the market. Then he said, we keep the petals, ecco. But now I do for you the most simple wire frame, and you do a chair with it. I said, okay, don't worry, hai capito? And then I did the prototype, I keep the petals, we did this Zio Marino looking with people, hai capito? The first, they were looking at it saying, this is not gonna work. This is, I think, when we put, because I wanted to have, you see, we have automatics, and me, I didn't want. I want to have Velcro, and they said, we'll never work Velcro. It's working with Velcro. We find it an incredible one, and the chair is perfect, capito, in the way I was thinking. They would say no, and we did what I wanted, capito. With Patricia, always, the editor, always in the back, saying, well, we try another time, ecco. This is the moment when they work on the dress, because they help a lot. To work with a company in Italia, for me, in my experience, is always you go there, after 15 days you come back, but they're working on it. Ecco, they were working, Mira Giulio and this girl and Patri, they were working by their own. This I love, hai capito? Means comunque that is 4 hands working. Or for example, when they asked to me to do a chair for outdoor, because I was doing things with B&B, and I think she was a little bit jealous, and she said, me, I want something from you for outdoor too. I said, well, don't make me do always new things. We are going to be sustainable. We just use an element you have indoor. For me, is the same as an outdoor. Only that the quality must be even over, hai capito? More and more, because you have things outside, and then can arrive rain or sun, or you have to. There can be more problems. Then the product must be ancora more resistant. Then we take the frame of the chair, which is in steel, which is not expensive, and we take a plastic wire, capito, and we do something, and it's gonna be very different. And sometimes if you don't have credibility, that the drama we have, all of us creatives, if they say to you, come on, what a silly thing. She said, okay, it's not so bad idea, and I think at the end the product has personality, is another thing. And came another family of things, always thinking and working on the company. Or for example, you see, this is another evolution. I like those photos from top. Or for example, elements, this was an element that we did in aluminium, made in the machine that you use for legs in metal, the little one that is like, not per conificare, però la piegatrice, we call it, no? And I founded a man in Italia, and I still we don't say to anyone that he did with a big machine the same thing with a tube that was large like this. Quite impossible to do. We found a way to do it for installation, and it was so nice that we put it inside the shop. As an architect as I am, we did the shop in London, and I said, we introduced the element, we cannot lose it. And we introduced the element. This, for me, is an industrial element, because it's over scale, but it's done with a system that normally is how we think tubes for doing design, no? It's an industrial element. And I was very proud about that. This was an exhibition that Patricia did with all the things, and I liked that was a little bit with a lot of mess, showing. This was a little playful element for my daughter Sofia, and I wanted to play with it, and we began to do a kind of dress that you could do comunque padded with automaticos, no? Then we did a kind of chair. We prepare in a second moment more like this, and then was padded in that way. This is just to tell you comunque how things come. The only idea for me was to use automatic, that in the end you can take like this, and you do it like a Moncler, and you take it out. And then you can wash it or send to the dry cleaning, or comunque. My idea was not comunque, even the chair, the shape, could be another. But in this project, the elemento fondamentale di progetto was to play with corchetes, with automatics. This is people of my studio working with me. As I said to you, obviously I don't do all alone. It's obvious. I work with a group. We are an amazing group for architecture, because we are doing a few hotels and a few things which are complex, and we need complexity and person. But design, we were 6 at the beginning, now we are 8. Person come, sometimes it's the nearby Salone, we are 9, but we still be in a little group. Like this, I can work with people really in touch. really for a long time. There is a person here who worked with me for 6 years, and it was a drama for me when he went away. Obviously, capito, because we were really in touch. For me, it's very important that you have a little micro community. And this photo is fantastic, ecco. Don't think it's comunque I'm joking and playing about other cultures. This was Patricia, founded a man, an American that was living in Uzbekistan, and he was doing a lot of amazing work in with women there. Because I did 3 years ago with Patricia a work in Sardinia, as he was saying. This man came to Patricia and said, I would like that you work with the other Patricia, capito, this is like this, many of my works are like this, because I think she could help us to working with my things I can do with the women in Uzbekistan, and me, I said, well, I'm open. And then I was seeing myself and Patricia like this in the market. He sent a photo of 2 women, the 2 twins, no? And we insert us. We were seeing us in the market, in Samarkand, eh? And we never could go. It was complicated, the history. The time was running too much. We did all the embroideries by the moment for the first collection. This was comunque a lovely miniature that we have. And we did comunque the presentation done in nearby Udine with the embroidery of women of Udine, but always thinking that possibly we will add with the long time they have to produce, because we understood things will take a long time. Perhaps we will add to the collection a few special items. We will be done in Uzbekistan, and we will go with the family to Uzbekistan. But this is comunque an history of how is our work and life, no? This is another chair we are doing in this moment. The prototype is nice because there's the photos when you are very serious about how serious we are looking at the chair. Moments of super seriousness, capito? You say, only a chair, but for us it's a word, no? Oh, comunque, and here the chair. It was a plastic chair that was complicated for the company because the knowledge is not so big in plastic. Then when we want to do something with a company which is not specialized in plastic, you have to work hard, capito? It's been a long way. We've been 3 years for doing it. Or this, for example, was another micro prototypes that they became comunque another reality with them. Here is the last Salone. We have done this a few things. One was this chair. This is Sofia, my daughter, 4 years old. She was seeing the photos and she was doing by her own. I like that, Echo. Your life and she was much better, her chair, than we were doing. And Zio Marino another time, you see him. I like when I tell an history. Obviously, I work with different companies. I could tell you a lot about all the technicians in many companies, because tendenциally, the person that I get in relation in a company, they are the most sensible. They are the technicians, but they are the technicians that they don't want to work in normal production. They want to do the special items, the prototypes. Then they are the most sensible. Then I know always, they give me the best person they have in the company. Then you have to take care of them, and you have to love them a lot. And this is, I'm very comunque proud, and I take a lot of care, capito, of this relation. Ecco, he was taking care of my baby. You see him, no? How cares? Or here, for example, we were not happy, we were controlling, and there are funny photos about that. And this was the Salone, how we present, and everything, is playful, and everything looks very easy. It's not so easy. This was comunque in the same time we were doing the laboratorio for the car. I was doing for a long time with Patricia. I wanted to do a redondo sofa with a skin made with the cement, with a big skin, capito. And we were doing the same time. It's because came the car, Then the projects we are doing sometimes are related one to the other one. Or this is another thing that for a long time I'm upset. There was a person in the studio that had comunque a drawing that I liked it a lot, and I was trying to find who could be the person who could understand. And they were very nice. We worked very well with them. It's comunque something that if you see, for example, the idea of the arm in the studio, we're thinking a lot. We're still comunque in one of the elements, changing a lot of things. And it's something that I think we enjoyed in the studio a lot, capito. I'm very happy that Moroso understood, and more or less came something, capito. This was part of this family too. This photo was done in Israel, in the Mar Muerto, no? Ecco, and I love the poetic of this photo. Those women were fantastic. Ecco, they were coming from an autobus, come si dice, a bus, nearby me, and they came and they take all the beach, capito? And they were so poetic, guarda, really, because they are those women that they come to Israel, to go to Jerusalem, and fantastic people. You have to be there to understand that. And they were taking the bath, and I love it, that one with this plastic chair. At the end, she's one of the icons, the real icons of plastic, of plastics. Yeah, we have to think a lot about this kind of icons. This is another icon that for me, I had in my house when I was playing with my brothers. I had one in white because they painted white because it was in wood, then was in white. The chairs in home in wood, many times they begin in wood, then begin in white, then they change color. You can repaint a chair in wood. No? This is very, I think, sustainable way of thinking about things. And this kind of typology, the comeback chair, I'm obsessed. There are years, people that are with me, working, speaking, that they are here from the studio. We would try to understand who could help us to give a little bit more life to this typology, which is a bit lost, because to redo it in wood, still being too much artisan, then we cannot move anything. And then we were speaking with Cartel, and Cartel, he was in love with the project, and more or less we have a prototype. It's going to be very complex mold to do it, capito? Then it's going to be in a technical way complicated, but this was the beginning of the first plastic chair. It's looking like a wooden chair, but normally those chairs, only the typology had an element who was protecting the tubes in this part, and then the frame was less delicate. But normally they are open in the back. Then all the energy of the back is comunque a structural way, is on the top. Then I didn't want to work on that. I wanted to work with us hexagons, and it's comunque, we were thinking about the typology. I hope we go on this work. Or this, for example, we were in Japan, and the little shasen, and the technology to do the shasen, you see, I don't have to explain a lot, is something amazing, from a little piece of bamboo. And I was, little obsessions of traveling, no? And I said to Floss, I want to work with this. I came with a little one. I say, I want to do a big lamp with this concept, but I would like that keeps the flexibility, because I think Shasen is something flexible. It must be a lamp that you can have it fat, or you can have it as thing. You can have it in many ways. And it was very nice, capito, to the way they were working on it. The lamp comunque is movable, hai capito? This big maker became a bit expensive. That is I'm suffer for that. Pero comunque the product came quite as we were thinking about. Or these comunque are little tools, hai capito, sorry? When I come back from Japan, I don't know you, but I come back, if it happened to you, I don't know if you travel or you didn't travel, but if you go easily, you will come back with a lot of miniatures. I think it's one of the places of the world that you can come with little luggage, with a lot of fantastic things nearby you, because there is a world of incredible miniatures for me. And we were doing a laboratoire for Torino in an exhibition where we were playing with the idea of the lighting, and it was a playful thing we did for art, capito, playing with the lamp, and was done in a nice exhibition. Or this was a little bracelet in plastic that I bought by the street in a place in Brussels, and my husband was complaining with me because I was losing time and he wanted to see a gallery, and they were closing, and typical discussions of creative, because you keep stopped with a stupid thing and you can't move anymore, till I didn't buy it, and he was complaining a lot, and we did this lamp that has been for the studio, something that went on the market very well for Foscarini. Is a lamp which is really working very well, and I'm very happy that we went till the end with this project. Here we have a work of an artist. For me, they are typology. I'm not a person who wants to do everything. Sometimes, as the car, I say to you, a bed is a mattress, and what's happened over it, But I think a bed is a bed is a mattress. And then ask me to do a mattress, not a bed. Then I said that to Molteni, 7 years ago, and they insisted in a very nice way, in a very kind way, saying to me, no, you can find a way to do a project from it. Don't worry, rethink. And then after a while, I think, okay, I'm going to do something. And then I understood that, a bed is not a bed, like a pipe is not a pipe, as Duchamp. It depends if you work in a typology and with the right person in the right way, that means that if I don't like a kind of typology, I will only do it if you really are so involving that I will do it, you know. But if you're not interested, I don't like the typology, I don't do anything. Then we worked on the back. It was with a very silent movement. There was a lot of technique. I had the bicycle, and we worked with the little chain of the bicycle inside. There were many little things that make me think that, well, could be comunque a bed, comunque could be something that I could do, no? And this was a painting done by an English designer I like a lot about the product, no? All the things that they were doing about the collection. With them, we have done a lot of work in those last years. The last thing we have done is this collection of little containers, not big, because they do super big cupboards, you know, super amazing. I said, I'm not going to do you super amazing. I want to do a little cupboard, capito, little one. And they listened to me. I say that for 2 years, and now they say, well, we do the collection of the little cupboard you want. And it's done with, this is metal sheet, very easy, technical material, not sophisticated, but made in, I think, with a lot of savoir-faire, with the inside, anything you can put and take, and there is a rope outside. Well, comunque, the way is, and there is a basket on the top. Well, we were playing in that way, and there was a collection of a few tools with the same concept. This is a drawing that there is a person here that I must remember a lot. That was coming in the studio, really, 3D. This is drawings that begin in the studio, very, very 3D, but then they became really craft. Then doesn't mean that in the era of 3D we have to do only, this kind of new architecture and only new products. Sometimes you see some products that they are looking really computer born, capito? They're born from computer, and babies from computer. I think we have to use the computer in many ways, or the contrary, to play with things very simple and then make them become very sophisticated in an industrial way. Then this kind of playful things we do in the studio. Or for example, this, that B&B was asking me to do a collection for outdoor, and this was a photo of a guy of the studio who came from, I think, Zanzibar or something like this, a German guy, and I love it, that photo. I love it, because I saw in another place animals sometimes inside those baskets, and they are quite big, no? And I went to B&B with this, and I said to them, when I would like to do a collection like this, I would like to be sitting inside, inside this basket. We can use them to sit, to be inside, and they understood. And this is the B&B, the aim of the company, the man that in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s gave. Now he can work quite even more. 5, 6 years he could come, but now it's not so easy for him because he has more problems, physical problems. And he was so amazing because this was the first prototype we have done in the studio, and you could try it. Then we convinced, you always have to convince them, capito, because more or less what you are asking is not so easy to understand, no? And this was a micro prototype, was like this. Was a little basket we did, and became the big chair, capito, and this became the real chair. Or this element that came out, comunque, working with them. We were doing this chair, should be not with this part. Normally, they do it now, clean. Me, I didn't thought, the company, B&B, they could do all this part of furniture in Filipinas. I said, if you work in Filipinas, I want to come. And then I did a workshop with them. Like this, I could understand how they work, what they do. And then we've been in summer in Filipinas, working, I can say to you, amazing, really hot, capito. But normally, all the architects were coming to their company. They were coming and they were sitting inside in the office with air conditioner, and they were working, and they were so nice people, coming with all the prototypes inside, and then the architect was looking, and they're coming back. And for us, B&B, capito, they said, no, me, I put a Bermuda, I go out from the first day. And they were making a lot of fun with me, because for me it was normal, capito. For me it's super normal. I possibly for more of you, man. I don't know why many other architects can go in those places that they can't interact. And then I saw they had these things, they were on the company. They have little things, because they did for the table. And I would say to them, no, We introduced them on the chair. Then we put them inside, and then many things of the collection came out working with them, seeing what they have there. This is what I think. This is the know-how you have to add when you are working in a global way somewhere else, capito. I think it's very important to understand that thing. Me, I believe a lot. And this is where we were doing all the products. All the other products, if you see, they are more clean, capito, more simple. Or this was the funny moment when all the guys, many times we were doing something. One said, I go to the other company, because they had one here, 1 kilometer. And then they went with this car all the time up and down, because it's plenty of them, 100 and 1,000 of these little cars. And me, I had a black car with air conditioner, you know. Then after 3 days, I said, me, I have to go in that car. And then we prepared one like this, and we went from one company to the other one, Echo. And I was very proud about that, Echo. Then it's the playful way, no? At the end is the Scalectric, because you're still on play in your work. Things go much better. Or this was, for example, a fat project. I said to them, I don't know very well what I want to do, but must be something not elegant for B&B. Must be something, or elegant with some kilos more, capito. And then they say, okay. They didn't complain. They say, what do you want? What do you mean? I said, I want a table that has no leg, not elegant. You have too many elegant things. And it's going to be a little bit fat, and it's going to be, I don't know if it's a table, it's a container, it's going to be something, but the name is going to be fat. Capito. And in that period, I went a Paris to Palais de Tokyo, with Patrizia Amoroso, the things that happened, and there was Erwin Wurm, which is this Turkish German thing, man, which is incredible. He works on many things, and it was the fatty car. And then I said, then I was giving to them all the photos and saying, you understand, capito, this is the mood, I like. Then I remember that photo with love. Or, for example, this was another project. They gave me the old project of Afra e Tobias Scarpa from the 60s. They didn't want to disturb them, because they said, now to come back with that piece, to redo with them, possibly is complicated. But if you want to work on it in another way, with other dimensions, with your flair, and something which is going to be that you can take out the dress, we can work with you. And then I was working with them, I remember, and came out a collection, capito, with a new identity. Or this year, this was the sofa, no? I was saying before. And then we began to take it and deform it and play. This is not computer done, partly. Many things of this came, with the hand, as I was showing to you. Zzz. I was playing with them like a sculptural piece, and we were very proud about this work, because I met this is the keep of B&B, and we were all of us really for but lot of months concerning on doing these elements, which is this sofa is the first sofa which is half the price than a B&B sofa. That's what we wanted. Then if it's a half price, we needed to take out cushions, things, because in the way they do the things, everything became quite expensive. Then we did less foam inside with a new system of a lot of holes, because they do the foam inside, they do the molds. Not every company does the foam inside. Then they have the know-how, capito. Then we work inside, we work outside, and with all the elements at the end, we got something very simple with, I hope, with enough aim to sell a sofa with a half price. This was more or less the day we had the prototype. But there's the day you have the prototype. And more or less everybody sits and say, bueno, plus o meno, possiamo andare, no? And mira, this is the studio, how we work now. The studio, comunque, we have place where we try things. Here is the part more the design. This is more architecture. We work all together around the big tables with a bit of mess, but tendency is like this. And happened a thing that a photographer for fashion, for Salone del Mobile, said to me, I want to do you 15 photos for the servizio fotografico for il Salone. I said, well, you do one, because it was nice, the person that was speaking with me, I liked them a lot. But you do the photo of the people working with me, capito? They are much more interesting. But if you see, but I said, I don't want the studio now, we are going to be models for one day. But, like David Bowie, capito? It will be angels. But we can't even do that, because I think it's a nice thing for the studio. Could be a playful way. But you use the person working with me, I'm the old lady, it's not important, but you are going to make them work. We don't stop working. This is not my character. They said, we work, and if you want to do the photos, a very important photographer, I said, with the one on the table, and then he come back working, it's okay. And he listened to me, and we did it like this. Then you see them, como que mira, if you see here back, you see, mira, she's here, and then they were doing that. Then it was the way. We did the work. Okay, we do, but we do easy. I come on, we put heels, come on, we do it, but we come back to work easy. And I think it's is the way I think things should be done, capito. This was the work done for Milano. I'm very happy that Milano asked me to do work. Capito, it was in Christmas time, but now it's been in Corso Como, but it was thought for Vittorio Emanuele. The idea was to do this a little bit, you see, festive lamps made in LED. I was working on this chair, the Emu chair, that was quite complex form in metal we have done, and we working on her. We begin to do the prototype on her, and then this was the first comunque begin, and then these were the amazing big lamps, if you see them. They were in the laboratorio the night before we ended the project. It was the day the product were existing, really. This comunque is a marble bench we have done with an incredible company from Italy, that they work in Eccellenza, capito? And I didn't think I will never work in things like this, because they are one-off, because it's marble, it's not comunque for production. But now, after this collection we have done, that was one-off, we are trying to find a way to do in a technical way with in series a few things in marble. Then it's not truth. Sometimes even a company that you think will be not the right one for you, you can get comunque something as a designer. Then, for example, it was very interesting, these things that we were working in volumes. It's been comunque, they gave me a lot of know-how, and I thought they will never give to me. Then many times I have to say thank you to people that they make me think in another way. This was in Puerto Rico. We are doing a hotel in a micro island nearby Puerto Rico, and a woman of Spain asked me to do it, and I'm very proud that it's happening, because we've been 3 years, capito, going there with a super hot, and with people saying to me, you want this, but we don't have it because we didn't arrive with the lorry, or we didn't arrive with the ferry, you know. Then many things we had to change, to adapt, and this is the bar where we went every day to have lunch, and this is the bathroom. I love them, capito. And I know, I'm associating with the hotel, but the hotel I'm showing to you after this. This is the work that we were doing with Axor company, German company. Germany gave me a lot of credits too. I'm very proud. We've been working for more than 5 years in a bath company, doing all the bathroom, working with them. This is Philippe, is the owner. He's very transversal. Everyone in the company can speak. The way they work is incredible. They make me love them a lot, capito. Really, really participate on everyone and helping everybody. Or, for example, Rosenthal, that now became Italiana, I don't understand anymore in the industria. I was working for 4 years with Germany for Rosenthal, and then now became Italian. Well, this is part of the world, the global world. And this was all the work, the way we presented at the beginning, all the amazing work of prototypes we did for 4 years that we were very proud in the studio. And we did an exhibition about all the process. The process was amazing. And we were much more, this was a prototype we were doing in the studio, you see, with pieces of metal, and then coming with incredible work, amazing. And we were even much more proud of the election. Here we were a moment, ending the exhibition, and we were having a moment of rest, capito. This, for example, with an Italian company, which is in tiles. In that period, I was working with Rosenthal, with things which are bas relief. Then the bas relief went inside everything, because when you're set with an idea, the idea goes through anything you are doing, you know, it happened to all of us. Then I couldn't work. They were asking to me to do patterns and colors, and I said, I don't have patterns and colors. I only have bas relief in my head. Then we worked at comunque in bas relief on tiles in a quite interesting way, and the work is going on a lot. We are doing a new collection with them, and this is outside of the studio. Many times you see us outside of the studio seeing things. It's a street which is not with a lot of passage, there are not many cars, then you can be outside. And I like the photos when we are working outside, it's very funny. We're working in art and craft, things like this. From this little thing, I went to Paola Lenti, and this little part, the mommy said, I can do for you the first prototype in big, the mother of Paola Lenti. She was incredible, amazing. And this means how you have to work with people. Or, for example, Gandia Blasco, the people that were working in India, for them, this is what people see at the end, perceive. But this was comunque the amazing woman, the only one who afforded the crochet side at the end of the carpet. She said, me, I do it, ecco, because everybody didn't want to do that crochet. She was doing, or the men's, because many times when they end the sofa, they put them outside, as me, I do outside of my studio, and they take the carpets and they hang them outside. They put water and they play with them, capito? And then the people from the company, Spanish, they always trying to interpret and work on it. Or, for example, this collection of carpets in Sardinia that I did with a girl that was half Korean, half German, who was working in my studio, speaking with a woman in Sardinia that never came to the peninsula, came one day to speak with us. Then the amazing little woman from Sardinia that had internet connection because her son was an engineer. Then he left his computer to mom. Ecco. Mom, that was the only one who understood all the last dots. She was educating all the girls that had to work on this. Speaking with Sonia, that was Korean-German, and speaking for a few months, I can't understand, we did incredible work. And me, I said, Sonia, everything is okay. Perfect. They were communicating with internet. I still saying that is the mystery of globalization, capito? Because this was fantastic, capito? The woman is not from Sardinia. Just to say to you, my idea of thinking about art and craft is not so, my roots are Spanish, then I do Spanish things, or me, I am Korean, then I do Korean. It's more about how do you have an idea, moved. She's from Romania. This old woman could be from the folklore of Romania, could be mixed with or substitute the folklore of Sardinia. You have to think of with the flair as Sonia. She became Sardinian Sonia. You know what I mean? Then what we have to understand that is, I think, me the folklore, I'm Spanish, then I didn't do ballet. Sofia does ballet because she wanted to do it, and Julia, my daughter, wanted to do it. But me, in Spain, I went to do flamenco. But Julia was doing this drawing. It's a little drawing when she was little. And flamenco for one day, because we went one day in the theater and we did this awful thing with all the mummies looking at us. And but comunque, I'm not so Spanish at that. Then think about comunque, what about? We, at the end, in this society of communication, we are all moving. It's quite complex to understand your roots, how they became. This is the hotel that we are doing, the one I was saying in Puerto Rico. It's part of the end. Me, I'm an architect. But as I am a designer, when they ask me something of architecture, I think, well, but must be an art craft hotel, because you are in Flips and Pareo. Then I don't want a design hotel. It's terrible. I want to do something contemporary, but must be a little bit art and craft. Then I said to all this. Then in the island there are plenty of sauvage horses. Then it's a very wild place, but really running everywhere. Sometimes you have problems. And I wanted to do something. This was the photo I was showing to the studio. Say we have to get this mood for the hotel. This was the work that I have to do in these 3 years, a big resort with 70 buildings, with a lot of mess and complication, no? There was the beach, and there was we working on all the buildings. As an architect, I'm not going to tell to you we were doing all the communications as a graphic way, but my heart was to give to the studio, to all my architects, the way as designers we work, and then asking them to say, well, we are going to do the map of Vieques. As an art craft, we are going to do in the studio, and this is going to help us to understand how we have to work on the hotel. And we were playing all the time with all these elements done by hand. This is done by the people from my studio, and this gave the aim for the hotel. Was at the entrance of the hotel, and the flair of the hotel was, the metal tin for doing the bath, and the Agape did it. Anything I wanted to do, we produced with this spirit, and now many things are coming as design from this project, For example, here we were doing the metal net, but painting over it, I think. Or using the lamp from Atelier OI, but over scale, capito? Things like this. This metal sheet was the first time that in Brianza they were using this net and using with printing over this. Then we were very proud in Brianza about this thing, because we said, oh, it's coming, capito. Then we were doing a lot of things trying to understand. Then the spirit is plenty of ropes, plenty of the things como of design partially, but many of things trying to make this is here. There's a big work of a person from Puerto Rico. There are many photos. I don't show them to you. Or trying to do elements of design. This is made all in ropes. This was the drawing, but we did all the elements. The chair has been. This was the beginning. One chair from this guy from Holland. Then we did another one which is different than we did from the studio. Then we're working a lot in design in the hotel or in the outside of it and using for elements. This was from Moroso in the hotel. Outside in the garden you find it. And I ended. This is como que the only ready-made I had done in my life. Possibly I'm not going to do many more, just to give him a lot of honor. This is the chair of my mentor, Capito, the chair Selene from Magistretti. For an exhibition 6 years ago, I put it the dress of the taxi driver, because I'm obsessed of that dress. I think it's a piece of, I don't know, but for me it's plenty of significance, and it's like a manto, covers it, and both together for me is como a tribute to the person that gave me something. Then, and what is written is in Italiano. I'm sorry, who doesn't write is something from David Byrne, that just to say, roots are in your life about the people you like, the music you like, the things that you have done, the travels you have done, all these things, no?